So the question was, what kind of flute should I get? There's a lot of information out there and I don't know what to do. What's good? So it depends on you and what you want from your instrument. A lot of people watching this video are probably brand new or fairly beginner. When you're new to flute, and really most instruments, right? You're really just getting to know it. You're not going to be able to do anything super fancy. You're not going to care about getting this special, amazing tone from a gold head joint and engraved stuff. You don't need that. You just need an instrument that works. So you're probably going to have a nickel instrument. The whole thing's made out of nickel, but it's silver plated. That's normal. And you're going to have a closed hole instrument. That means that you don't have holes in the keys like here. These would be closed. And you're probably going to have an offset G, which means that these two keys here would be set down a little bit. That's all totally normal. Oh, and you will also have a C foot, which means you will have two keys here and two keys here. That just means that you can't play one note lower. That's all great for a beginner instrument. Totally fine. It's nothing fancy. You don't need it to be fancy. All of those things will add cost to your instrument, especially if it's new. And you're not going to know how to do or use any of those things yet. So don't worry about it until you're like, I really like flute. I want to keep going. I want to invest in this. You can get any number of brands. There's some name brands that are great. Yamaha, Gemeinhardt, Armstrong, Jupiter, Pearl, Altus. Those are all ones that I have run into either myself or with my students, and they work fine. You don't have to get those brands. I've seen plenty of brands that I've never heard of, and they work fine. As long as the instrument is working and not broken, that's all you need. If you are looking to invest in an intermediate instrument or higher, then you want to start talking about things like material. I would say material is the number one thing. It's also, unfortunately, the thing that costs the most, but it is the most important because it will immediately make your tone better, and the playing will feel easier. So what you really want is a solid silver flute. So that's solid silver body and a solid silver head joint. You will often see gold lip plates for intermediate flutes. I honestly, there's a little bit of a difference maybe, but it's really not that, it's not important at that stage. And I mean, you can be the best flute player in the world and play on a bad instrument and you'll still sound good. And you can be the worst flute player in the world and have a very fancy instrument and you're still going to sound not great. The instrument is not the main thing here. So you don't need to spend money on, pretty engravings or a gold lip plate, unless you want to. If you feel like it, you can. But I feel like it's just extra money at that stage anyway. So solid silver. If you can't get the body solid silver, if it's too much, get a solid silver head joint. That's important. You can get inline or offset G. So this is an inline G. That just means that these keys are here. That's a personal preference thing. You can get an extra trill key here. I don't have it. You don't need it. But it's really nice for a couple of pieces. I would say for professional flute, if you want it, go for it. You can get a split E mechanism. It just makes the high E easier. You do want to get a B foot if you can. So that adds this third key here and a third key here. And it just means you can go one note lower, which is very helpful and highly recommended. It helps with some of the super high notes too, because you can use that key there. That's the basics. With the beginner instruments, you can pay, I would say, between 100 and 500. You could probably go up to 1,000, but you're going to be able to find something. It doesn't have to be brand new. It can be used, totally fine, as long as it's working. So if it's used, maybe take it in before you play it and make sure it's got good pads and all of that. Intermediate instruments are going to be more in the 1 to 3 or maybe 4,000 range. My students were usually able to find something 1 to 2,500, 1,000 to 2,500. That's good. When you start to get to the professional range, it's going to be at least 7,000 unless you're getting a great deal. 7,000 to, I'd say 12 is the general range, but it can go way higher than that. It all depends. I hope that helps. Good luck in your search.